All right, I'm going to go over how I wrote the articles for Franklin, Tennessee Guide. Actually, I recorded myself writing these, but somehow the recording got messed up, so it didn't store. So you don't get to see me actually write it, but I'll be able to comment on it, read it to you really quickly, and give you an idea of my thoughts behind things. First of all, I think of this site as think of it as a little bit like a local newspaper. That's kind of a nice enough framing for it. Or maybe even like a local magazine, not so much a newspaper, because the newspaper's a little bit more frequent and a little bit more newsish, but whereas a news magazine might put the spotlight on various local businesses and local goings-on. And feel free, by the way, to spotlight local goings-on. You can certainly add things about your kids' sports teams or local high school events or the county fair coming to town, if it periodically comes to town, whatever gives you kind of good energy to do that you feel like doing. Don't kill yourself to do it, but certainly little slice of life things can help, and maybe I'll add something like that to this site. So this is the home page of it, and I very possibly will change this home page. I just want to show you what article we put up to begin with, and there's not really a way for us to do business here for people to advertise with us, except we've got this advertise with us right here and call this phone number to get started. I'm not sure how much money that'll make us right now, but it's possible that it will. The people will find our rankings and just say, hey, I'd like to advertise with you. Sounds good. Okay, so the Franklin, Tennessee Guide, the inside scoop for Franklin. Franklin's a wonderful place to be, whether you're visiting or whether you live here. I've lived all over the U.S. in San Diego, Orlando, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Scottsdale, Arizona. They all have wonderful things to recommend them, but in my opinion, there's no place like Franklin. That's why I made up this site to highlight the best, in my opinion, places to go and things to do and businesses to frequent. Now, I live in Cool Springs, which is my favorite part of town. I'm right behind the Whole Foods, which is fantastic. I've gotten to know this area especially well, but whether you're in Cool Springs or downtown Franklin or somewhere in between, there are lots of places to go and things to do. The first thing that jumped out at me when I moved to Franklin was how incredibly nice the businesses are. The Subway that's down the street from me looks like a Starbucks, and the Starbucks in Cool Springs that I like to go to, well, it just looks like an especially nice Starbucks. That also means that you should expect the best wherever you decide to spend your time, and don't settle. Each page off this site highlights what we think are the very best of Franklin, Tennessee. And listen, you may disagree with me, and if you do, I totally get it. Maybe for your taste, you might prefer brick tops, while I might recommend Granite City instead. And I get that. In fact, I'm more than happy if you'd like to email me your feedback. I should put an email message right here. Let's go ahead and edit that right now. So we'll go to posts. Let's edit that. We want this to be email me. Just go to the text format here. Just pull this in from another screen. I'm just verifying that I have the right link format. I'm just doing this in Dreamweaver off of the screen, and then I'll pull it in on the screen. You'll be able to see how it is. Okay. All right. I'm going to say. Okay. So it says email me, and what you do is ahref equals quote mail to : my email address, and it's all in quotes, and then I close the parenthetical. So I'll slam this up in a text document here so you can see it very well. This is, and not that this is a particularly critical lesson right now. You can always look up how to do something like this in HTML. Okay, but that's how it'll look. Mail to myphonemagic@gmail.com. It's a little bit different, the mail to link. Okay, so I added that, and let's update it. and then we can go back to the site. Okay, so generally what I'm doing with this page is I'm setting the expectation for this site, and more than anything, we want to let people know that this site is natural, that's naturally occurring, that we have kind of a point of view, what our point of view is, and you can borrow from this for your website, this general theme. Don't copy it word for word because then you'll get hit with duplicate content, but this same theme that we're here to highlight, well, we think the very best. We think this is a really nice town, and so you should expect the best from it. And so that's what the site is here to do, is to highlight what we think are the best. And I put here, you might even get me to change my mind. Okay, that's it. I want you to enjoy the site, and again, make sure you let me know what you think the best of Franklin is. And then Greg just put kind of a random video from YouTube about downtown Franklin there. All right, so let's go to Find Life Insurance. This is the first article I wrote for the site. And what I did was I just put down her full information at the very top, so that way she would just come right up. And this is my insurance agent. Let's do, what is it? Car Insurance, Franklin, Tennessee. Now, obviously, this didn't rank instantly, but it does, I believe, rank now. Yep, it's right here. So you can see the way I did it, it makes it so her information like really pops up right here. That's nice for her, right? Caroline Pistole, State Farm Insurance Agent right there. Okay. Full disclosure, I picked Caroline more based on convenience than anything because her office is close to my house. That said, I've been very pleased and recommend working with her if you're hunting for car insurance in Franklin, Tennessee, or any other sort of insurance that you might be on the lookout for. Now look, we always want to be pretty mindful of our keywords and you know, get them in there naturally, so always watch that. I have homeowners insurance. I insure 3 cars, including my GTR, and some especially nice jewelry. Something that stood out for me with Caroline and her team is how personable they are. For one thing, when I had questions, Caroline herself reached out to me personally and made sure she knew what my needs were and that they were met quickly and professionally. For another thing, the people in our office are caring and focused. I work with Ela. She's a gem. She knows everything from insuring and underwriting, getting multiple policies straight. When we decided to make a car purchase on a bit of short notice on a Friday, I was able to drive away insured at the last minute. Great peace of mind. But I don't want you to have to take my word for it. Here's part of what Maureen Kay, who's been with Caroline for 18 years, said on Yelp. So what I did here was I went on to Yelp and I found pull quotes. I didn't just copy the whole thing. You know, I pulled out what I thought the most interesting quotes were. Here's what Krista Kay said on Facebook. Then I put in the quote right here. Now like others, Lisa W., who has policies for 9 years, has pointed out they recommend Caroline to friends and family, even though State Farm doesn't necessarily have the lowest prices because they're great personalized service. Okay, great. So that's pretty great. I'm using building blocks from other sites, and you know, we want to pick people that have good reviews, of course, if possible. All right, your guide for luxury real estate in Franklin, Tennessee. I need to adjust this video size really quickly. Let's fix that. Needs to be 500 is the width, like a pretty good width for videos. On Wild Country is going to be 500, and of course Greg had it correct for the previous theme. I just changed the theme. Actually, let's make sure that we don't have a problem with. I don't know if Greg included it, but yeah, the video size here is fine. Okay. All right, so for what we went for was for luxury real estate rather than going for real estate, because this is a particularly nice area, and some of the homes can go for a little bit more. And so with this, I just picked my real estate agent here, and I'll walk you through how I wrote this here. We started looking for luxury homes in Franklin, Tennessee, and Brentwood area right around this time last year. What we were looking for was a feel like when you're pulling out it in your brand new Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, straight off the lot, that surrounding of comfort that fits just like a glove, but still looks just right. Now I say that because we lived in less, shall we say, nice places before. In fact, the day before I picked up the phone to call Franklin real estate agent Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce Ryan's last name, I should put somebody. So this is, need to edit this. This doesn't make sense grammatically. And sometimes you miss things. You just want to fix it. Phone call, blah, 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 comma, somebody. Have a look here. Go back to the site. Okay. I say that because we've lived in less, shall we say, nice places before. In fact, the day before I picked up the phone to call Franklin real estate agent Ryan Rigmer, somebody had peeled my license plate off my car while I was getting lunch right down the street from my trendy. It says by transitioning. Yeah, looks like I need to fix that too. I'll fix it really quick. No problem. Always fix things. Okay, go back to the page. Okay. And in this case, I'm really trying to write for somebody who would want to buy a luxury house. So talking about Range Rovers and stuff like that is, one thing. In this case, if it were a different situation, I'd bring something different. Like again, this is a little bit more affluent area. So dropping little things, that's why I have a Range Rover and a GTR in the picture here, because it's a little bit more affluent. If your area is not as affluent, don't do that. It won't fit in as much. It won't make sense. But for this area, it's appropriate. Okay, so let's see. From my trendy downtown condo in a, quote, transitioning area. Enough is enough, is what I told Ryan. Okay. Now, my case is probably unusual, but Ryan was up to the task. I told her I wanted to own Brentwood or Franklin luxury real estate. I wanted comfort, I wanted safety, and 20 minutes drive from downtown Nashville sounded just perfect. It was a busy week for me. That was a busy week for me too. This is all a bit, obviously, there's some number spelling errors here. I caught this. That was a busy week for me too. So it was great that Ryan took the lead and booked place after place for me to look at. Within a month, I was moving into my new place, tucked nicely behind the Whole Foods on Mallory Lane. It was just right. It was a just right fit for me. And when I decided to buy another house this year, Ryan was the person I called. It's worth it to know that I met Ryan because a friend used her to buy his house. Same deal as with me. Fast move, easy, just like our Zillow reviews. And as an added bonus, Ryan negotiated me $15,000 off the sticker price, and got the homeowner to throw in a nice barbecue. Here's a link to her Zillow profile, so you can, it says find out more. Let's say, so you can read what others have had to say. I'll say dozens of others, because it really is a lot of people. If you find, if you have somebody, you're targeting somebody who really has a lot of reviews, then that's particularly great. Okay, let's go to view the page. That is how that lined up. And again, the way I'm writing these, it's a little bit newsy. It's certainly positive, but if you think about like a hometown magazine, you're not there to rip people apart. You're going to pick good people, and then this works great. Now, if we wind up working with her, I'll go ahead and do the same thing with Ryan that I did with Caroline and put all of her contact details up here right up front at the start. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this look into how I wrote these articles. Greg wrote this in MMA classes, so you'd have to find out from him how I did it. All right, this is what Franklin, Tennessee guide currently looks like. We're going to make it look excellent. We're going to make it look like Nashville SEO and OliviaWilde.org. So if I pull up Nashville SEO, it's got a theme on it. This is essentially Genesis Dynamic Wild Country. Wild Country was developed by Mike Hayden, who is very active in our Facebook group and has a terrific series on how to design websites called Website Supremacy. I'll find the link for that in a second. Okay, so so we're going to make it look like this nice scrolling situation. And this is what it looks like right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly go here to the themes under appearances and themes, and I'm going to add new, and I'm going to upload Genesis. So I'm going to choose a file, and I'm going to try to find genesis.zip. Okay, I've got Genesis here, but I don't think I have it zipped. Let me see if I can quickly zip it. Yeah, I have to zip this file for it to be able to be used. So I'm just going to move it onto my desktop, and then I will compress it. Normally, if you buy it from Genesis, it'll come compressed. Okay. Not working. Give me 1 second here. Okay, I found it and compressed it again, so it's genesis.zip. And there it is. So I'll choose it and I will install it. And then I'll activate it. And now what I'll do is I'll go in immediately and install another theme called Dynamic. And Dynamic is a child theme to Genesis, so it's sort of an add-on that allows Dynamic to do much more. So let's see, dynamic.zip. There we go, install now. Okay. And I will return to the theme page. And now Genesis is active, and for some reason it seems like I didn't quite get Dynamic, so let's try that again.
You grab the catalyst down there.
What's that?
You grab the catalyst down there instead of the Genesis Dynamic.
Can you give me Genesis Dynamic?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, and I grabbed the wrong Dynamic file. That was the problem. Needed to get the one that is specific to Genesis, Dynamic Gen. Okay, so I'm going to grab this and I'm going to install it. Then I'll activate it when it's done. And next I'm going to grab Wild Country and install it. All right, and I want to also, of course, update. It says there's an update available here to Dynamic, so let's update it. Update now. And Wild Country is a theme that Mike Hayden made up. Actually, let me find that web address for you. It's on websitedesigntraining.net. And I'll pull up a notepad here. Websitedesigntraining.net. Excellent, excellent. A lot of OMGers have been able to use this, and it's great. Like once you do this, you can sell website design services very well. Okay, so we'll click here to complete our dynamic update, and we will save our changes there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to import Wild Country. So let's see, import Genesis settings file, import And it says nope. I'm going to go to okay. I've got this file here, Wild Country, unzip first too, and you can download this file right from this page or from the website design area. And this is the what Mike Hayden designed for you. It's exclusively for members of Project Juggernaut and Project X. All right, so let's see. We're going to import. Let's check here for a second here. All right, I'm going to go to import export right here, and I'm going to choose a file to import, and that file is going to be right here, the Wild Country to design.zip, or sorry, settings.dat. So I'll import that. And then I'm going to go to dynamic design, and I'm going to import here. And here I will import the actual design. Okay, so we've got that done. All right, we're resuming here. Let's go to images, and I'm going to upload that image that I created. Whoops, got to choose it, and then I'll upload it from our desktop. Okay, Franklin TN Guide. And I'm going to upload it. Okay, and then we're going to go to the body, and we're going to select that image as our background right here. And we've got it, no repeat image center. And then I'm going to save the changes here. All right, so we've got that. We're going to save the changes. Now, I've already gone over to the website just to check it, and this is what it looks like now when I hit refresh. Very, very different than what you saw before. This is our background image and everything. We're going to do some things to make this look a little bit nicer. We're going to change the settings here so the title just goes on one line. We're going to make the text so it's a little bit darker, and we'll just do a few changes here that are going to be nice for it. So what I'm going to do now is jump back in here. Okay, we're going to go first and fix that header. So I'm going to go to the header tab. I'm going to go to this header background right here, which is the fourth tab down. I'm going to change it from transparent to the last setting, horizontal and vertical repeat image. I'm going to check the checkbox here for no color, and I'm going to choose transparent 80 percentage. I'm going to save changes. And let's go back to the website and see what that does. Okay, so now it goes all the way up to the top, and we'll continue to work on things here. Okay, so now we're going to modify these three boxes at the top. We're going to click in on this, and in this case I'm going to choose quite a dark blue. Let's see if I can get it a little bit darker. Click right there. That's quite a dark blue there. There we go. All right, so that's quite a dark blue. And I'm going to copy this, and we're going to put this same blue right here. So this is going to be the same exact color. And for this, for the header title link, we're going to choose a slightly lighter blue. That'll do. Fine. Maybe I'll make it a little bit darker. It's fine. Okay, so I'll save the changes. And let's go back over to the website and have a look. Okay, great. It's obviously a lot easier to see. And then when I hover over it, it changes colors a little bit. So that looks good right there. All right, next we are going to go to header dimensions, which is fourth from the bottom here, currently. And we're going to change it to 450 pixels wide. It might need to be a little bit wider depending on your font. And then we're going to change the left padding to 15. And we're going to save our changes. And we'll go back to the site. Okay, might have to change it a little bit more here. So let's just jump back. Let's change it to 480 and see what happens. There we go. Now it all fits on one line and looks a lot better. Okay, now we're going to jump back into WordPress, and we're going to go to Appearance, Menus, and I'm going to check under Theme Locations the primary navigation menu. I'm going to check all of these three links that Greg currently has up and add them to the menu. And we've added the primary navigation menu, and now we're going to save the menu. What that's going to do is put a menu in. It's right there, right across the top. You can see right there. Okay, so there's our links. And now we'll go back to WordPress, and we're going to go to the widget section. Now, right now, I'm going to click back over to the site. We've got these two fat footers here, which I actually like. They're pretty neat. We can do some cool stuff with this. But for now, I'm just going to a little bit get them out of the way. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to open up the Easy Fat Footer, and I'm just going to drop a text box into it. This is text right here. I'm going to drag it up right here. Just save it. So it's just a blank text box there. And I'm going to do the same thing for this one here. Drag up a blank text box, drop it in, save it. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to just get rid of the writing that's down there, right? So that's gone now. Just a little blank box, and that's fine. Now we can go back and add stuff if we want to. That can be a nice versatile area. But for now, we're going to keep it blank. And let's see, next I'm going to go into plugins. And I'm going to add a new plugin. I'm going to search for a plugin. In the WordPress repository, I'm going to search for Genesis Simple Edits. So this is a free plugin. And here it is right here. Let's install it now. And we will activate this plugin. All right, and it is now activated. All right, what I did next is I went to Genesis Simple Edits right here, which is the plugin I just installed. Right here it says footer credit text. We're going to just delete all this stuff after footer copyright. And I'm going to type in the Franklin TN guide right here, and we're going to save the settings. Now let's take a look over at things. Let's just take a second here. Now at the bottom it says copyright 2014, the Franklin TN guide, and everything is looking great right here. Okay, and what I'm going to do with this primary sidebar widget area is I'm going to install a little video and put our phone number in here for now. We may change this as time goes on, so I'm going to go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/video music showcase. I'm going to pull a little bit from the stuff that we use for Nashville SEO here. You could, of course, create your own custom stuff. I'm going to go to videos. And I'm going to find that Franklin video, which is right here, Franklin. And I'm going to grab the embed code here. I'll pause this when it starts. Okay, this is pre-GTR. So let's go to share. And this is going to have to be quite a small embed. I'm going to make it 200. 200 may actually be too big. 200 might work. Okay, I'm going to grab the embed code here, copy it, and let's go to the Franklin, Tennessee guide, and we're going to go to the widgets panel. So we're going to go to appearance widgets, and this is the header right here. So we're going to drag in a text box. Once again, let's put it in the primary sidebar instead. Okay, and we're going to say contact us for more. Let's see. I'm just going to put advertise with us for now. And I'm going to drop in that video, and I'm just going to grab the phone number from Nashville SEO. So I'm just going to grab this whole statement here. Okay. Let's save that and see how it comes up. It's still a little bit too wide. So let's bring it back to 180. We need 180 by 101. I'm going to drag that back in. I'm going to save that. We may change this, but for now this will do fine. Okay, so now we've got the quick little video, and the phone number is right there for people to get started. And so now the site is looking quite a bit better than it did before. And so now, yeah, just looks a heck of a lot better. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of images that folks, I think, in Franklin, Tennessee will enjoy. And now you've seen how we do it. Again, you can find out more about, especially Dynamic Genesis and Wild Country, by going to Mike Hayden's website. And he's got quite terrific website supremacy. It's on websitedesigntraining.net. Websitedesigntraining.net. Right here. And one more note I want to put in there is one of the things that we can do, I'm going to start ranking this website. Greg and I are going to start ranking this website for Franklin SEO and for some of the outlying areas. We'll probably also rank it for Franklin web design and Franklin website design. Two paths you can go down even if you don't already know how to do web design, because you can command thousands of dollars for web design jobs. One is, of course, like I said, you can take Mike and Clinton's course, which is at websitedesigntraining.net. They're always active in the Facebook group. They're just wonderful. What you can also do is go to Theme Forest. And this is something you can do. You don't have to choose between these two. You can do both of these things. You can also offer people themes from Theme Forest. So if I put, let's say, doctors. Let's say you got a doctor or a plastic surgeon on the hook. He's interested in you doing some web design. Then what you can do is choose one of these themes. Choose a WordPress one. This is a good one here. A good looking theme. Click in on it. And what we can do is we can we can offer people themes, like this one. So if I go to live preview, one of the things you're allowed to do is go up here and remove this frame, and you can send this to a doctor. So I can just click this to get rid of that frame at the top, and we can send this as an example of something that we could do for a doctor, and just say, hey, here's a really great looking theme. Of course, this isn't customized yet for your practice, and we can change plenty of the details, but this is one option that I can give you. And so you can send them this preview straight from ThemeForest without them being able to just purchase the theme themselves. And then you can contract help on something like elance.com. You can ask for, you can put up a job on elance.com, pay, it could even be, $100 or, $150 to get help, to get somebody to install the theme for you, to do all the details for you. And you could be charging $1,500 for that. You might pay $50 for the theme, another $150 for somebody to install the theme for you, and then you're looking at quite a nice profit, $1,000 profit on a $1,500 site. You give them 6 weeks, to install it, and that's a great way of going with things. Now, if you go to Elance, certainly ask people for examples of their work, to make sure. And it's pretty typical standard practice to put in something, because people will, on something that's pretty average thing like web design and website design, put in something like use this title when you're submitting your job, and you might say design my great website, and that way you're not just getting copy paste submissions from everybody, which can kind of slow you down. But I just did want to kind of point this out. You've seen an installation. Now, you could also do something like this for yourself, for your own website, if you don't want to use Wild Country. Now, I love Wild Country. It's one of my very favorite themes. But if you didn't want to, you could use ThemeForest and get a design from there. Or you could take Clinton and Mike's course and really learn how to design things yourself. So I wanted to give that little extra tip to help you along with things. Okay, thank you very much, and enjoy your great-looking Your City guide site. All right, let's go after water damage, Franklin, Tennessee. The reason why is I want to do this for ServPro that's in this area. It's in Williamson County, and just think it's a smart move with them. I looked on their Facebook page, and a couple of nice recent posts. Really like to try to work with people where they're doing good work over the course of time. I pulled this off the Facebook page. We'll probably post both of these images in the article. This is from Miss Linda Carter of Brentwood, and loyal customer for over 20 years. It's really cool, getting her carpets clean. And this is just a nice picture of their whole team. They got spotlighted, I guess, in Spring Hill's homepage. So what I'm going to do is write an article. I've got, this is going to be the title of the page. These are the keywords that we're going to target. Again, I'm going to try to mix some of these keywords in to the article. This is their, for the call to action, this is their phone number. And depending on what Greg thinks, we might link back to their website, although might not need to. They already ranked #1 for water damage, Franklin, Tennessee. But, a little bit of domination never hurt anybody. This is the name of the owner, is Kathy, who I've talked to a little bit, and Gregory as well. So I've interviewed her a little bit, so I've got some insight into some things to say here. Okay. something I do a little bit sometimes to stuff keywords is kind of make it seem a little bit like a subheader. Just going to try to find something really quick. I think I've spotted something on their Facebook page that I can pull from. Really great to reuse these building blocks that we can find on people's Facebook pages, or sometimes on their website, sometimes reviews. Remember, we can pull customer reviews. Ooh, this one looks juicy. Wow, this is great. I didn't expect this. I'm gonna grab this too. I'm just gonna take a quick screen capture. This is pretty nice. I'll take advantage of these pictures when we can. Some image there. I think I saw a water damage shot here too that I wanted to grab. I'm not seeing it. This fire damage job should be fine. All right, now, as I look at this article, my biggest issue with it is I'd like it to appear a little bit more like an advertorial. So an advertorial is the idea it's part advertisement, part editorial. I think it's coming off a little bit too salesy. But let me see what I can do to just get a little bit more, to serve people a little bit better with this. So I like that. I think that that's a pretty good way of ending things. To me, that makes it weirdly enough like making a pretty strong push. To me, kind of balances things a little bit better because I'm kind of putting my my attitude into things. Okay, all right, that's what I'm going to send over to Greg. I don't know if the keywords are in here enough, but find out from Greg. All right, I want to take a few minutes to discuss how it is that I created this this background for Wild Country. I'm using Snagit. You can get a full 30-day free trial for Snagit. There's also plenty of other screen capture software and editors that are free. You can search Google for those. All right. So I just, the long story short is I just took pictures on my phone. I didn't actually go out with the exact express purpose of taking those pictures for this site. Some of them are just, personal pictures. You notice a GTR picture, my wife, a picture of David and his son, my wife's Range Rover, whatever. I mean, just, this is a picture of Drury Plaza where we're holding OMG Live Nashville. These are some houses we were thinking about, possibly buying. And then this is just a picture of downtown Franklin. And what I did was I created a new image by hitting Control-N, which is new. And the image size was, let's see, 1920 by 1080. So 1920 by 1080. And then I dragged in the pictures and resized them so it would make a little bit of a collage effect and just be like little snapshots of life. I think this is a pretty good way to go for a small town. I understand you may not have a GTR or you may not have a Range Rover, whatever. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Take a picture of somebody else's nice car. Or if it's more of a Franklin's a little bit of a well-to-do town. That's why I picked some of the nicer images. Also, I did it with a little bit of the awareness that from about right here to about right here, in a lot of cases, would be cut off. So mostly it's this center area on most people's computers that they're going to see. Okay, and so as we look at the website, as I have it posted, let me pull this up for you. See on my screen, like on a big extended screen, I can see the whole layout, but on a smaller screen, you won't wind up seeing the whole layout. Even if I extend it out, you can see part of it. You can tell that this is Drury. You can tell this is some sort of a car. If they know downtown well, they'll kind of spot that. But it's not the most distinct thing in the world. This is, some parent and child. You can't even see my wife. There's, the GTR is kind of in the picture. So, you can see how it'll kind of wind up being. And I just drag these pictures in. I could, move them around if I wanted to here. This one's kind of behind the other images, but you kind of see how that works. And then what I did was I did a fill color in the background. I'll show you. So I went to Tools, and then there's this little fill tool, like looks like a paint bucket, and I picked, just kind of like a nice sky blue and filled the area with that. And then for text, I just wanted kind of like kind of a written text. So I used, what is this one? I think this one's Hand of Sean is the name of it. Let's check. Yeah, Hand of Sean, S-E-A-N. So you can look that up if you want to. Hand of Sean is the name of that one. You can get it for free and download it on your computer if you want. Exit out of that. And then that's, basically how I did it. It's quite similar to how I did oliviawild.org. Let me pull that in for you. Let's see. Here we go. So quite similar to how I did this. Computer's a little bit hung up here. Okay, just a collage of images. Most of these I just pulled from other sites. I thought it was fine. Basically, they're kind of out there, and we've never had any complaints on oliviawild.org from Olivia Wilde. That presumably she's pretty happy with the site, if she even knows about it. So I just kind of made a collage of images here, and just basically the same thing, and it works well. It works just fine. Now, of course, with Nashville SEO, I've got the big background image of Nashville itself, which of course looks great. You need to have some sort of an iconic image in your town for that to really make sense. So, if you have a big water fountain in the middle of your town that everybody identifies with, Cotton Grammar when he did St. Louis SEO, resilient. This is Resilient Solutions website. You'll see he's got the iconic St. Louis arch in the background. If in your town there's something that people know and recognize, if you have a nice cityscape, that's also a fine way to do it. For smaller towns, I would go with a collage. It's a great way of going. Okay, I hope that helps you understand how things work. With something like Snagit, there's plenty of information just from the Snagit people on how to manipulate the software and how to use it. So feel free to use their tutorials. I already walked you past some of the sticking points you run into. All right, enjoy. All right, we're going to add something pretty nifty to our Franklin TN Guide site. We're going to go for the ranking, for the My City SEO ranking. This makes this a little bit different than a traditional My City SEO site. So, for example, NashvilleSEO.org doesn't have all these different articles about hairstylists and car insurance agents and so forth. But of course, it does go after ranking for Nashville SEO, Nashville website design, Nashville advertising agencies. Well, we're going to think of our Franklin TN Guide site, and you can do this for whatever your town is. We're going to think of it a little bit like a newspaper, where we can both have articles about local MMA, which is mixed martial arts dojos, or we can have articles on local real estate agents and so on. But we can also feature things about ourselves, and so we're going to go for target keywords: Franklin SEO, Franklin SEO, Franklin TN, SEO Franklin, and Franklin TN, SEO. So I'll try to fit as many of these into things as possible. Now, please note that we'll come back and we'll add screen captures when we rank number 1 to this article. So we're going to begin without screen captures, and we'll add them as we go along. Okay, so search engine. I'm trying not to repeat keywords here. I'm gonna have Greg look this article over. He may de-optimize it a little bit. I'm a little bit worried about running into Penguin here because I have a lot of trying to fit all these keywords in. Just quickly check word count here. I think it'll give me a word count. Maybe not. In this particular case, I think I'm just going to give them the Nashville SEO phone number. I may change this. Down the line, but for now, that's the number I'm going to give them. I also may change this to a name squeeze where we just go after getting people's email address and phone number. But this will be great to get us started. I may put in the Wufoo form, or just add a simple Aweber email address squeeze. Okay. Now, one thing I'll tell you is I think that I waited too long for this call to action. So let's also move this up closer. Okay. All right. I wanted to kind of mention downtown Franklin, because somebody running a business in downtown Franklin, they might actually try to grab Brentwood there. Let's grab Brentwood SEO while we're at it. The guy at Franklin SEO. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Little bit better. Okay. Great, I'm going to erase this, and I'll just send this over to Greg. Okay, great. All right, and I'm just going to save this and send this over to Greg. Hopefully this article makes sense to you. You kind of got to watch me write it and just a few of my thoughts. I'm pretty quiet when I'm writing these things, otherwise you'll really miss out on the experience of what I'm doing. And again, I'm planning on changing this article. I'll get it down, get it up for SEO purposes. It's fine for SEO purposes. And even if I kind of forget about it and it starts ranking before I realize it, certainly I can get phone calls and get business from it. But then I have the intention of going back and reworking it When I get good rankings, I can post those, screen captures of those rankings right in the article, maybe add a video, and, zip things up from there. Okay,